Hey guys, so I have the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe Volume 2. So I went ahead and I got this bad boy. I went to the Morphe store to kind of see it and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna take it home with me. Before I jump into comparisons, swatches, my thoughts, a tutorial doing this purple look, definitely subscribe if you want to keep watching my content. I'd love to have you around. I do all kinds of things from unboxings to tutorials to a little bit of everything on this channel that is beauty related. And also definitely follow me on my Instagram. My social medias are down below. I do giveaways on my Instagram, my beauty Instagram. So if you're interested in that, definitely go follow down below. I do a lot of makeup of the days, show makeup on my feed. So yeah, so definitely go follow down below. And let's go ahead and jump into this bad boy. So I do like the fact that this one is very shiny, so it seems very easy to clean. It just has her name, Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. When you compare it to number 1, I actually bought the OG when it first came out. It has her name in cursive, so it has different lettering as you can see there. And this one, the old school one, is more matte and gets dirtier a lot easier. So that is that. As far as how much is in here, both of them say that they have 1.98 ounces of product in here, and they are literally like the same size. So that is just a quick comparison for you guys. And this is what it looks like. The message on here is literally the same message from her original one. I think that she just added like a little bit extra of these years. So the first one said, like, this palette is dedicated to my loving subscribers, and this one says, who have supported me all these years. So this is Volume 2, and this is what it looks like. So that is what it looks like. And I will be showing also a video to the side with swatches for you guys, row by row. And I want to also talk about the rows and what my opinions are of these shadows just by swatching them and playing with them. I am going to continue to play with this, and we'll be doing makeup of the days on my Instagram, so definitely follow me so you guys can like get an updated review. But I will get into what I feel like the differences are between the two palettes, comparison shades, and also comparing some of the formulas. So this one has glitters, mattes, and also shimmers in here, while the regular OG palette only had mattes and shimmers. So as you can see by the swatches, a lot of these shades are super bright. There is a lot of pressed pigments in here, so a lot of these bright shades are super pressed pigments. That is a little bit of a learning curve. You will see that in the tutorial part of this video where I use the purple. I feel like using the pressed pigments, it's better to go in little by little and build it up rather than put a lot of product on there and then try to blend it out. But that is just personal preference. Each person's going to kind of work with whatever, you know, whichever way is more convenient for you. So now that you guys have seen the swatches, I want to talk about the palette itself and my thoughts on it. I think that this is a nice palette if you're into bright shades, if you like the color story, of course. I will say that there are some shades that are very different compared to her first palette. For example, the mattes, we have those pressed pigments that are a lot more, you know, stronger in pigmentation, and they are going to be a little bit more of an effort to blend out. So you do want to, like I said previously, work with them little by little. Aside from that, this shade is like a duochrome. It's actually what I have in my inner corner. It's called I'm In It. I really like it. It's a really nice kind of like duochromy shimmer on there. And these shades right here, these shimmers are really nice and pigmented from the get-go. You get that pigmentation, which we are accustomed to from her original palette. But these shades up here, these like neutral shades, are very different from her original palette. So what I will get into, Ride or Diamonds, you will see, I mean, it kind of looks better on camera, but if you were to swatch it in person, you were gonna be like, what the hell, that hardly has any pigmentation. So that is what it looks like right there. Okay, this is staining from like when I swatched in the store today, okay? But this is literally what it looks like. And it doesn't look like much. It's actually what I have on the center of my lid. It is actually a topper shade. It's actually like a glitter topper. It doesn't give that much pigmentation, so it is a shade that you're gonna have to either put on top of something else, or if not, it's just gonna be like a wash of glitter on your eye. So I just thought I would mention that, because when you see it in the pan, you would think that that's like a beautiful shade that's going to go all over the lid, but that's something that I haven't seen many people mention about the palette. And that one was like, I was like, what the hell, why is it not swatching like some of her regular metallics? And it's because of that. It's actually like a glitter topper shade. Now, these other ones are nice, but likewise, I feel like this middle shade, Boujee, isn't as pigmented as the other two. Boujee in the middle is more subdued. I feel like you would really have to build that one up, or put a really, you know, a really good base underneath for it to pop. So I felt like these two shades in the palette, Rider Diamonds and Boujee, are things that you're gonna have to work with, and Rider Diamonds is actually more of a topper, like glitter shade. Other than that, all the other shimmers really swatched really nicely, super pigmented, and then the mattes themselves like really just popped out, are super pigmented, and really nice. So I just thought I'd point that out as far as this palette. So I do want to compare it, like I said, to the original one. So let's see if we can get both of these on here so you can see them side by side. So I really want to show you guys, especially the neutral shades. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, the first three rows in this palette are exactly the same as the other one. Hopefully my camera's picking up. I think it is, just looking at my viewfinder. Actually, the shades in this palette, the new palette, are definitely a lot more warmer. As you can see, none of the nudes are actually similar at all. Not even close. These are a lot more orangey, a lot more warmer in tone, and even the two light shades, when you see them in pictures, you would think that they're very similar to the first one, and they're not. This palette actually has like a full-on white matte and a duochrome in there. So I feel like the shades are very different, and even the neutral shades that are the shimmer shades on the top here, right where my hand is, are different in form of formulation. Like I said, that top shade is a glitter, and in the original palette, it actually, the shade on top of the blue is actually a full-on pigmented shimmer. So I will get into showing that now, just so you guys can see the differences, because I feel like a lot of people were like digging on her, saying that the first part of the palette is too many neutrals and it looks just like her old palette, and I feel like that is not the case whatsoever. So her shimmers in her original palette are super pigmented and very extreme, like you know, like just glide on, which I really loved about the original one. So the three shades that are neutral in the new palette that are shimmers are more subdued, and then two of them are more of like a glitter topper shade. So I'm gonna swatch ones that are maybe similar, if that, but to be honest with you, they're not. So I'm going to swatch from the original palette and the new one, two shades that seem similar. But as you can see there, this one is from the original palette, and then this is from the new one. They do have different undertones. They do stand out differently. And the one that I just swatched is, this is Sissy and this is Boujee. And you know, when you see them in the pans, you're like, they kind of look similar, but they're not. And even Little Lady, if you swatch them all three together, you definitely see the difference between all three of them. Is it a subtle difference? Yes, but it's still a difference. It's not like she literally took the same shade. Other than that, I feel like all the shades are different. Even these are the two original ones in her original OG, the two like whiter shades, and then these are the two new ones. So you can definitely see that the new one is definitely like a stark white, and then this is an actual duochrome, while these two are more of shimmer cream shades. So these really do have a shimmer to them and are more of a cream. Okay, would you focus? Focus? Thank you. So you can definitely see the difference in there. Obviously, I feel like you might not see the difference on your eyes depending on how much pigmentation you put of them, because if you're just going to put it as like, you know, just like a highlight for your eyebrow, then you might not notice that big of a difference. But if you were to put it all over the lid, you would definitely notice the white compared to the cream. Also, I feel like Homebody looked, you know, like a brown that could be in this one, and literally I can't find one. The only one I can find that could be somewhat similar is this one, and this one right here is Hunt's from the first one, and then this is Homebody, and you can definitely see the difference between the two. So as I kept playing around with this, I felt like none of the shades looked the same. Even Pukey, compared to G Money, those two seem very similar as well, and you can definitely see like there's a difference in the shades. So there is not one shade in here that is similar to the other ones. Even Butter and Perfectionist, as you can see there, this is Butter and this is Perfectionist. You can definitely see that the shades are different tones. So I just wanted to put that out there and just let you guys know, because I know a lot of people you know, were really digging on her, saying that they were very similar, and I really wanted to do comparisons of the shades that I felt that could be similar, and I did feel like they were totally different shades, or you know, had different undertones, or one was lighter than the other, so they are not identical whatsoever. Could maybe if you blended it out in your crease they look similar, probably. I'm not going to take that away from it, but you know, they are totally new shades compared to her old one. Would I say that you need this? I don't feel like you totally need this palette. I do like it. I do feel like it is beautiful, but you know, depending on your collection, I do feel like it is good, the amount of shades for the value of it. I almost didn't pick it up because I have such a big collection, but then I don't know, I just had one of those days that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the mall, see if it speaks to me, and it spoke to me, so I picked it up. I will, like I said, continue to play with this. I will do looks on Instagram, and that being said, I am going to jump into this tutorial real quick and show you guys that, and yeah, and then come with my final thoughts. So we're gonna jump into this palette right now. I already have the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer on my eye, so I'm gonna start off with a Lolly Mama. I think I'm gonna go for more a pink purple kind of look. I know pinks and purples are hard to formulate, so I really want to see if these are any good and how they go on, if they go on patchy, if they grab on to my primer. I'm just getting off the excess, and I have no makeup on my face because these are pigments I expect fallout from them, so I did not do my makeup first. I'm actually going to do my makeup last, which is really weird for me, but just going to put this Lolly Mama all over my crease and just bring that back and forth. I feel like my my Anastasia Beverly Hills in the center there did not dry properly. It's kind of grabbing onto it, but that's not the fault of the shade itself. It's more the primer, so just ignore that. Let's just ignore that. Okay, next shade I'm going to pop into is the matte bright purple called Not My Journey. And I'm just going to put that on that outer crease and blend it. Okay, I can definitely tell you that this one looks a lot more patchier. This is the one that I put on first and then blended out, compared to this one that I blended in color little by little. Hopefully you guys will be able to tell the difference on camera. Next shade that I'm going to use is the one in the like left hand corner, on the bottom left hand corner, which is Stay True. It's like a burgundy shade, and I'm going to just add that in here just a little bit, just to, you know, really play around with some of these shades and see how they blend one into the other. Okay, so I did have to go in after I blended and add a little bit more of that color with my finger just so it would be that pigmented, because as I blended, the metallic kind of faded away a little bit. So in my inner corner, I'm going to put the shade I'm In It, which is that duochromy kind of pinky shade that she talked about in her video. And I'm just using one of my favorite brushes to do that, which is the MAC. I don't even know if they still sell this. This is the MAC 228. But I love this for like inner corner, kind of just little pops of shades. It just does a beautiful job of doing that inner corner. And then for my lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go really bright, and I haven't gone into Tipsy Girl, which is this bright like fuchsia pink. So let's see. Ooh, so this is really like a pink purple look. I feel like I stayed on the lower left corner basically of the palette and use most of the shades there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of Therapy Sesh, which is a little bit of the purple, and then just add that to the outer corner just for a little bit of extra fun on there. Like, okay, so this is what the look looks like. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this Rider Diamonds to the center of my lid and see what that looks like. Just added that little bit of glitter to the center. This is definitely a topper kind of glitter shade and not something like standalone. You definitely have to put a color underneath it. So for my final thoughts, I have to say I really like this palette so far. I have to say I was impressed with how these purples blended. The pigmentation is there. Do I have to build up some of them as far as like the shimmer goes? As soon as I started blending, some of the shimmer did go away, so then I had to go in with my finger and kind of add a little bit of oomph to it. But that being said, it is, you know, Morphe quality. It is something that is to be expected for the price point. So, you know, you kind of take it for what it is as far as that. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Is this something that you picked up? Is it something that you're interested in now based on the swatches, the tutorial, and the comparison? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Oh God, can't talk. I hope that this was helpful for someone and helped you in your decision making. And yeah, hopefully one day Jaclyn will put me on her PR, because I swear to God, almost every launch that she does, like, I've bought. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, hit that little red button, follow me on my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.